Hi everyone and welcome back to the Brick Bods. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You join me today for a review of the Reading Brick Show. We were there last weekend. If you checked out yesterday, you would have seen the GBC already. But today I'm going to show you the rest of the stuff that was there. And this was a different show for us. We've been to 3 other shows where we've displayed. This is our 4th one. But this was the first one where we were displaying with friends. And actually, that really changes the experience. So here we are with our buddies. You can tell we're having a great time by the smiley faces. So I'm going to start off by showing you their mocks. So Monarch had put together a little city scene, friends, mini dolls all over the place, and I really love the sort of perspective that we've got there and the sort of alleyway as well. It's clear that he can add more to this as well as he goes. Lots of colour in there, so many different mini dolls. He was very precise to not have any of them looking exactly the same. Full interiors as well, absolutely stunning. And then he had his cafe corner build, which he'd done with just essentially parts in his collection, so completely different colours to you'd expect. Looks really cool, and he'd even done like a little story to go alongside it of how the community had come together to rebuild the cafe corner. And again, more interiors. I'm loving the rainbow theming, it's beautiful. On the other side of us was the minifig Who. He crammed pretty much as he could into one table. There was stuff everywhere. He had all the Doctors apart from the 13th, which people kept asking about. And that's the inside of a TARDIS, I believe. I'm not a Doctor Who person, but I found it fascinating anyhow. He had sound effects, he had lights. It was amazing. So we were in very good company. Ours hasn't changed much from our last show because we've been too busy doing DIY products at home, but we did take away the trophy for best static model. A static model because it's not motorised. There was another award for motorised. This was the table along from us where someone hadn't turned up, and so another guy had just put his stuff down. That game was really good fun. I did beat Monarch at that. Now you'll know that my Bowser is my favourite thing, and the teeny tiny Bowser with the piano, I love it. And in fact the medium sized Bowser also love. I think I've got a thing for Bowser. Got lots of pirate ships there and a little battle going on in the middle there as well. There was a guy with a massive Lego city there. All the modulars, quite a lot of the rebrickable rebuilds of some of them, but so much detail in the streets. He was constantly buying new stuff and adding it on. He was just adding some little bumblebee tiles onto the trees and things. But even though we have all the modulars ourselves, it was great to look around his little city as well, or big city, I guess. So this one's got some good storytelling behind it. It's all around the parrots, so you've got the little villagers there wandering along. That's Parrots Are Us, where the pirates come to buy their parrots, and actually there's a little parrot nursery there and then a little parrot health centre as well, to make sure that they're in good health before they go into the shop. I thought it was good fun. I'm not sure if I've ever shown the back of our mock, so I just thought I'd include a quick sneak peek of all the Duplo that's behind. The kids find it fascinating when they see that. The weekend was great, but it was so hot in the hall, and Planet Tech, Thomas arrived with a whole bag full of ice lollies, so you can see how happy we were there. Mainly Ian's laughing there because he was being wildly inappropriate with that ice lolly. So the Reading Brick Show is a lot more family friendly than Ian is, so there was lots for the kids to be doing. This is the mosaic corner, or the art corner, and they had like gazillions of 1x1s, and the children are just so incredibly creative. That little castle, I was amazed by how people do this. I'm assuming it's the kids, but I mean, look at some of these builds, and a whole bunch more as well. It was overflowing with creativity. This one may have been my favourite though, just the fact that they got the effort to write Pooey on it. I'm a child at heart. They also had a little cityscape where you could add your own little skyscrapers in, make a nice little skyline. Again, some of these are amazing. I think possibly my favourite mock of the weekend was this giant spooky circus, Bones Circus as it's called. Quite a lot of it was motorised, it was really well thought out, and just the theming I thought was amazing. I found the Ferris wheel, the fact that those spokes on the wheel aren't actually straight in any way, but it still works. Quite amazing. I mean, look at this big top. Look at the sort of stitching detail on that tent. Absolutely stunning. And they also had a whole bunch of extra bones that you could use to spell things out. And then look what's over here. Someone's written tits on the table. So we've got a whole bunch of crowns and hats here. I really like the Union Jack one because it looks like a jelly to me. And then a nice spooky inside of a pumpkin. Really good detail there, little mummy nursery, or mummy baby nursery. This is an art gallery, and I think there's a famous piece of art called The Cow in Formaldehyde, or something like that. And they actually did a mini doll in formaldehyde as well. And then of course the crocodile locomotive that is actually a crocodile. Loving the leaves on this mock here. Definitely my colour. I think this one's a great mishmash of a whole load of things, with the wooden duck pulling it along and the Technics minifigure people. And then you've got a whole bunch of scenes from the classic Only Fools and Horses. My favourite is obviously the Batman and Robin one. This solidifies my decision not to put lights into our city. I think it's just an expensive way of making it look good in person, but it never shows up on cameras. And given that our Lego city is very much on YouTube, it just seems like a waste of money. There's the fairground mixer as well that we're currently working on in our city. And I did check, their loop coaster seems to be a lot more reliable than ours, so maybe we can tweak ours. I'm loving the micro scale here. So much detail, but on such a tiny scale. So we've seen this sort of haunted mansion at a couple of other shows, but they finally seem to have nailed the electronics side of this. They've got the nice little bar where you can push the buttons and it makes noise and things light up. They won the best motorised model.
Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you. I thought initially that giraffe had fallen over, but as I thought about it a bit more, I believe it's actually being eaten by those lions. I don't think I've ever seen a hippo though. And I was surprised by the number of crashes they'd had at the train stand, because normally they're much better at driving than that. Look how happy Ian and Monarch look. As it was in Reading, someone had done Reading train station and bus station, and those buses crash into each other intentionally. Apparently that's the kind of thing that happens in Reading. So Monarch had mini dolls in his, and this actually, we didn't realise when we first looked, is a mini doll city as well. I think Monarch's has got more colour, so it's more obvious straight away that it's mini dolls. But I love it. Wobbly trees! I thought the supersized bouquet looked amazing. And it was nice to have a Jurassic Park mock behind us that wasn't playing the theme tune the entire weekend. So I think these guys were there last year. This was 3 tables worth of building by a family. So you got the eldest son, then the middle son, and then the mum as well. She's given it a go as well. I think it's really fun. They were really creative, and they also had quite a lot of interactiveness with finding things in it and giving out stickers as well. So I love seeing this kind of stuff at shows. So this is Anna Banana's sets here. She's got two minifigs, and one of those on the first day took a tumble off the table and smashed. She rebuilt it ready for the next day. It was awful to watch. I'm so pleased that she managed to get it back together in time for the second day. As you can see, hottest day of the year it would seem, and everyone's in the Lego show. It was so hot, so many people there. I absolutely love this eagle. The detail on that, stunning. And so here are all the battle robots. They had a brick rumble sort of every other hour, I think it was. It was always very noisy. The kids got really into it. I didn't manage to get any footage of that because you just could not get in there. But I know it was pretty exciting. Having seen it in Swindon, you really do get into it. And there was so many robots. So this was the art gallery area where they were building those mosaics, but also they had some art around the sides. I've seen some of these last year. I think the only new one I sort of spot is that bear one, Ursa the bear I think it's called. Love that one. Here we have the Muppets Theatre again, that we've seen at some other shows. It's about 6,000 votes on LEGO Ideas, so do feel free to go over there and support it if you haven't already. This is the interactive map of Rotterdam, I believe. It was commissioned. And then they've got so many event bricks, but that's because these are the brick people who run events. They have a nice little Lego Dots wall, and Monarch and I took on the challenge and made his t-shirt out of Lego Dots. It was really good fun. Took us a while to find all the right colours, but we added a bit of coral in there because obviously it's Monarch, and we're really pleased with what we came up with. Here's the Nightmare Before Christmas set that we're hoping will be on our shelves soon. And there's Anna. I would not even dream of cutting her out of my video. So we had a fantastic time at the Reading Brick Show. The weather really didn't help. It was so hot. The second day, I think I had allergies and a cold and things, so I was a little miserable, but the show itself was still fantastic. So much for kids to do, so many exhibits to see. They've got the right balance here for sure, of sellers to displays to actual things to do. There's also an area where you could drive monster trucks and an area where you could build your own car and test it down the speedway. We'll definitely be heading back again next year. But for those of you who have watched the whole video and couldn't make it to the event but still want some tickets to use in our live streams, the secret word this week is sweaty, because we were very sweaty. So let me know what your favourite mock was at the show. Also, if you like show reviews, then I'll link up our show review playlist at the end. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. See you later!